My name is Mary Walsh, and I'm a final year Bachelor of Science in Science Education student. So I'm qualifying to become a physics and maths teacher, and naturally, then I applied to the STEM summer internship program for teachers because I wanted to take something and give something. So I wanted to take something that I could bring back to the classroom and give something to the company as well. And I think I managed to strike an okay enough balance of that. So I did my internship then in SSE Electricity in the renewables department. And I was really fortunate that they gave me a place considering, the pandemic, and they allowed the internship to still go ahead working from home. And that commitment was really, really nice to hear, especially at such an early stage, and that it was very clear. And so, yeah, I was working in the renewables department with the consents team a lot, and my role was as the onshore wind development intern. So basically, my role was very varied. I was creating resources for SSE employees and their kids, and running homework clubs with them. I also created resources for SSE to employ in workshops and stuff that they might be doing with students. I did some work, some background research, and some research for the consents team. And I also, just got to talk to a lot of fantastic employees there about what they do. And it was just fantastic. I learned a lot from them. In terms of my personal development, I learned a lot about, the boundary between work and home when you're working from home. And it really was a struggle for me at the start of the internship, but by the end, I got a lot better at it because it was my first time really being out in the proper corporate world. And I also learned, how to speak to people in managerial roles and, the whole corporate structure and how to communicate and network in that setting, because it was completely new to me. I'd never been exposed to it before. Some of the sciencey stuff then I learned all about renewable energy, biodiversity, ecology. It's at the forefront of what they're doing. I also learned a lot about, the tech aspects of the wind turbines and wind farms. And there was one really interesting thing that I had done a module in college on differential equations. And one of the employees there was using, well, probably many, but I spoke to one of the employees there that was using differential equations to model the wind using a quantum computer. And I just thought that was so cool. And just talking to him about how he does that, and I was dying to get in and see it. But I also learned a lot that I could take back to the classroom as well. So those resources I made were all made for the students to do at home. And I really learned that you can set students a lot of tasks to do at home that they can bring in. And then, you're taking some of the time that would have been wasted having them do a few questions, and they can bring that in and then work through some more questions with you, some harder ones. So you can really take more advantage of your time that way, rather than giving them homework outside of class. You could give them the homework in class and work through the other examples with them outside of class time. I also learned about, doing experiments from home. I never thought that would be possible until I did this internship, because I was trying to figure out some workshops that they could do if they weren't allowed back out into schools with COVID and stuff. So I was trying to figure out some stuff they could do there. And I was like, God, you could do experiments with like everyone would have a toilet paper tube or, balloons or something. And you could do an experiment that way. You could have the students save up certain materials and recycle them and use them in their own experiments and be creative that way. So that was something I definitely took and would employ in the classroom as well. And another thing I learned as well was about the eco anxiety that students are experiencing these days, and some students still aren't even aware of climate change or anything like that. So just the difference in those kind of perspectives that students are coming with, and how to incorporate them all, and to talk about the environment, and to talk about renewable energy, and not have it be scary, but still have it be informative enough that they know what's really going on and what's at stake. And so I really took a lot from the internship, obviously, and I really enjoyed my time there. I really loved it, and I just got on so well with everyone from SSE. They were so helpful, and I'd recommend anyone that's thinking of applying for the teacher internship program, like absolutely do it. Just push yourself out of your comfort zone that little bit, and there'll be so much support. You've such a supportive network of student teachers around you then, and this network that can help you if you have any problems down the line, if you wanted to run an idea by them, or share a resource or get a resource off them. It's a little community I'm a part of now, and I love that aspect of what I've done. So thank you to the STEM internship program, thank you to all my fellow interns, and thank you to SSE.